When we get anchored up, which we're gonna try and anchor again, off of that structure a little bit, we're gonna be on it. First thing we're gonna do to make the trip more enjoyable, once the boat is set, that's gonna be tied on, we're gonna put a weight on it. One weight, no bait, hooks are gonna be on it. We're gonna put a certain weight, okay? We got a little bit, say a 2-knot current coming under the boat. Just put a half-ounce weight to see what happens, okay? Again, no bait on it again. Drops it to the bottom. If you're watching that weight as it's going down, going over here, okay? You need to reel it up and put a heavier weight. Do it a couple times until you get a weight that is gonna keep that bait primarily straight down, okay? If you're not doing that, you can drift into the reef, you can drift under the boat, etc., and it can become a problem, all right? If the weight is floating, hovering in the water, fish isn't even gonna touch it. It doesn't look natural. You need to have enough weight to keep that bait on the bottom, all right? The second rig, we can show you how to tie that up. The second rig we use is what's called a fish finder. Does anybody know what a fish finder is? You do know, okay. Fish finder rig, I'm gonna hand this one out, start rolling that one around. Fish finder rig is a slip weight or an egg sinker with a blank hook and a piece of bait on it tied to your line, right? That is designed to be dropped down very slowly, all right? You're feeding the line out as it goes down. Let that weight hit the bottom, all right? Once it hits the bottom, pull off about 10 feet, all right? The weight is anchored into the sand. You're connected to it. That line goes out, and that bait is gonna move around. He's gonna act natural, whether you're using a shrimp, whether you're using squid, frozen threadfin herring, somebody netted you up or gave you some live threadfin herring, or whatever else you feel you want to put on there, it's going to give it a more natural presentation. Okay, the fish isn't going to sit there and stare at it for 10 minutes and then decide he doesn't want it or pick at it. He's going to hit it fairly quick. What, just as a question, the experience, what type of rods are you guys using? Weight, any idea, or are you just beginning to get into this?
Beginning.
Beginning, okay.
I just got my boat on Sunday.
Congratulations, absolutely congratulations. Welcome to the club. Remind me to shake your hands later, all right? All right, what we're using is a rod similar to this. They've got a lot of cheaper models, but this is the type of weight you're looking for snapper fishing. It works great offshore, it works great inshore. One rod and reel type situation set up takes care of all of it. If you guys want to take a look at it, you're free to hold it, mess with it, whatever. Just be careful, the rod's not mine, the reel is. I just bought that tonight. But that will take care of everything out to anywhere up to 25 miles, if anybody's willing to go that far. Like I said, the series of reefs we have are what are called patch reefs or man-made reefs. Those have to be found. Your sounder, fish finder, bottom machine as we call it, is critical to find snapper. If you're doing a drift, say between, does anybody know Fisher Reef, Silvertooth Reef, Gorge Reef?
Yes.
Anybody ever heard of them? Okay, I'm sure you have, all right? Those three are the prominent reefs in our area. Okay, they're fast to get to, they're great for kids. You're gonna catch a multitude of species on that. Silvertooth, Lynn Silvertooth Reef, Allen Fisher Reef, and Tom Rohr Reef. Okay, you look at Lido, okay, Lido Key, it actually looks like an exact triangle when you look at them, okay, from the air. All right, those you've got to be able to find those, okay, you've got to be able to find the structures on that reef. That's where the fish are going to be. They're not going to be anywhere around it. Once your boat is set up, that's when you can decide what gear you want. Now, fish are inherently lazy, okay, especially snapper. What they're going to do is you have a current coming in this direction. You have your reef, which is here. The fish are not going to be in front. It spends too much energy to stay with that current, the wind, and everything. They're going to go on the backside. All right, you got the current flow, it's going to hold it in place. Your nutrients, your bait, and everything is going to follow what the current go over. That's where they're going to catch them, on the backside. And that backside could be facing west, could be facing east, north, south. That you have to determine when you get out there. The easiest way to do that is before you anchor, find the reef, drift over a couple of times before you anchor. Right? Then you'll find the position you want. You could go ahead and start dropping your fish finder, your high-low rig, your chicken rig, find out what weight you need, and start baiting up from there. Right? Who has done some chumming out there for snapper? Anybody? You have. Okay, what'd you use? Not putting you on the spot, I'm just curious.
You know, I don't know, his friend brought a bucket of chunk. I don't know if it was something he mixed beforehand or
Probably.
ground up, but
You might have been using sand balls, but wadding it up in a tight ball and dropping it over the side. Okay. Oh, you scooping? Okay. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a great technique. Okay. Me personally, on our charters, I think it's a little overkill. If you're looking for mangroves to bring them up off the bottom, which they will, or the illustrious yellowtails, all right, which everybody loves. The best thing we like to do is threadfin herring, frozen sardines, that type of thing. You thaw them out, cut them into small 1/4-inch chunks. Okay, no blood, no nothing. You just want the fish oil in. And a small handful at a time. When you get out, you're going through yellowtails and stuff. A handful. Line up a rig. Throw another handful out there. Take your time with it. It's going to take them a half hour, 45 minutes to even notice it's there and start coming up to the back of the boat. Then you can tie on a regular 4 or 5 millimeter to your light tackle rod, a circle hook, and the same piece you were throwing over the side. Let it drift back with it. You don't have to cast. Drop it off the back of the boat, beat it out until you get it like slam the bail shut and lights on. Get the fish in the bucket, into the gourd he goes, and you got dinner for the happy day. Same with mangroves, all right? We've got a series, if you guys are willing to go out a little bit farther, it's about 6.5 miles out. Between Tampa all the way down to Venice, it's a series of reefs called the M reefs. I think they're numbered 1 for 21 or 18, something like that. When we do 4-hour trips, say with younger ones on board, that's where we usually go to because there's a lot of action. We'll pull up nothing but mangroves, lanes, occasionally yellowtails. We've got flounders, sharks, cobia, blah, blah. I can go on and on and on with this. And it's all on those 2 rigs I showed you. Nothing else. No flat line, simple fishing, easy for the young ones to remember. Hopefully he'll remember something tonight. He is paying attention, that's great to see. But it's easy fishing. And I want you guys to understand here and learn a little bit, this is the way to, okay? Don't want anything complicated. Your boats, most of you who do not have boats, are you Freedom Boat Club or are you, okay. We'll get started with this again. The biggest thing you need, and I know Freedom Corporations, they do everything they can. I know it's a great organization, all right? But the fish finder bottom machine is very limited, okay? These we recommend right there. It's a portable unit. It's a more high definition screen. It will show you, as you can see, stuff that their machine will, that is a stack of fish right there. That's the picture you're gonna get on it, okay? And if you find the numbers that you like, you can actually plug those in, take the number with you. All right, built-in machines on public boats, somebody's gonna steal your number. You find something great, don't tell anybody, you got it with you, carry it with you. All right, but you've got to have, for snapper fishing, you've got to have a bottom machine. All right, or you're blind out there, you're just drifting around trying to find, you're going up finding, well, those boats are on something, let's go over there and see if we can get some mangroves. They're not catching mangroves, they're catching keywell grunts, right? Which is a great fish, there's nothing wrong with them. The gray looking ones with the blue funny stripes on their face, they're fantastic, but it's not what you want. You're looking for the yellowtails and mangroves, etc. You're not gonna catch them there. They got the grunts overrun, the mangroves have all dug into their holes, they're not coming out. You will not get them out. You've got to search the bottom, and that's critical for doing this. Especially these guys, a few of you that have boats. You're a new boat owner. All right, take your time. Read the manual. Get out there, study the machine, see what it's doing. Run over all kinds of territory, over everything. And look, okay, where's that? What is this? There's a reef 14 miles out called Fallen Heroes. I don't know if if anybody ever heard about it or not. Okay, there's a statue of 5 soldiers down there. People don't know about it. Divers go out all the time and clean it. Hate it when they clean it, because they make a mess, their fish depart. You know, it's full of old army tanks and amphibious vehicles. And they're all upside down. It looks like a big rock pile. It's not, it's an army tank. And believe me, I've hung up on that army tank on an ammo tanks. All right? But with those techniques, we'll have to show them the knot. What knots are you guys using to tie leader to line? Can you name any of them? Uni knot? Good knot. Got one simpler just as right. Because I know unis are a pain in the neck. I can't tie one for nothing.
I can do that with FG. I can't do FG on water.
Palomar, good knot. FGs, forget it. Not wasting my time, man. Wrap it. It's like a bendy twist, really, dude. You know, I'm not using 8-foot line to tie a knot this long. Not happening. All right, we used one from a gentleman who started off fly fishing named Bucky Curry. He died a number of years ago. And it is the stupid, simplest knot you could ever tie, and you can't break it. We have used that knot on 80-pound leaders, 65-pound test on that big reel, that reel right there. We caught a 10-foot tiger shark off the Siesta Beach. And I do have photographs of that fish to prove it happened. So if anybody is he's full of it now. I got pictures of it. All right, it's called Lefty Creek knot. 4 wraps, cinch them down, you're done. Clip the bites off of it. We can show you that here in a few minutes and show you what that knot is. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. But your critical thing, like I said, is you can chum for them, you can live bait. The live bait primary for these local reefs here is live shrimp, okay? Getting dead shrimp in a pack might work. I wouldn't spend the money, okay? If you get a chance, bait shops around here, which are all fantastic, well known, all the charter captains are known in all the bait shops. I don't recommend one over the other, okay? I know all the others, we're all good friends. Even here, these guys are fantastic, all right? Frozen thread fins were fantastic. Thaw them out overnight, keep them in a cooler so they're pliable. Any other bait you have, the night before, take it out, let it get pliable, leave it in the fridge, but let it soften up a little bit. But your live shrimp, live bait is gonna be your best, okay? And for those who don't throw a cast net at 5:30 in the morning, like a lot of us, the live shrimp at a bait shop is gonna do the best. And ask for what they call hand-picked shrimp. Anybody know what those are? The larger ones. If you sit there and tell them I need 8 dozen shrimp at a bait shop, you're gonna wind up with 1 or 2 of these, and the rest are gonna be like that, okay? And a lot of times you have a number 1 or a number 2 size hook, such as these for snapper right there. That shrimp, he's gonna be half the size of the hook. Right, and it doesn't look like something that fish is going to want to eat. It's got to be something that makes noise. I don't know if you know the shrimp click when they're in the water, they make that clicking noise. That's a draw for them. That's why a lot of times artificial lures work, which I'm not an artificial guy. Please don't ask me. I don't know any of the techniques. I do what I do. All right. We're using a number 1, a number 2. You get out towards Fallen Heroes, which is 14 miles out. I would recommend jumping up to a number 3 circle hook. Now, I will tell you, yeah.
Are you saying 1 through 3 or 1 up through 3 up?
1 eye.
Okay, that's what it's
Odd hooks. All right. When you go past 9 miles, okay, Fallen Heroes, you know you're under a federal regulation. What's the regulation?
I can't, I'm not.
There you go. Exactly. Exactly. It has to be inline circle hooks by federal law. All right. Automatically. You're caught with it, you're gonna get a get home present. Right? And you'll get instructed, they may give you away, but you're probably gonna get a present. All right. So remember that. J hooks anywhere else. All right. The technique with this, so you know, is when you have your rod, you found your weight, like we discussed. You found your position where you want to be. You found the fish. You've got your rod in your hand. You're standing here fishing. And you're feeling, people have a tendency to jerk that rod. Don't do that, okay? All that fish is doing is he's nitpicking at that bait. He's seeing, A, if he can pull it away. I mean, if it's natural, if it's going, he's gonna bite it, it's gonna try and run, it gives it something to chase. Give it a second. As soon as that rod pulls down a little bit, don't jerk the rod. Okay, we're not like fishing out there. Okay, we're not fishing for bass, anything like that. Turn the handle. So I keep bending the rod and turn the handle. Turn the handle as fast as it takes to keep that rod bent. Alright? Everybody understand that? Okay. That's the critical thing. Alright? We've gone through the basics. Like I said, anchor ahead of the reef, let your boat drift over the top of it, so you're slightly behind the reef. You'll have to judge the current on that at the time you're actually out boating. Yes, sir.
The circle, if you're fishing with a jig,
Does not apply.
it only applies to me.
It applies to live bait or dead bait. Okay. Only. You can use either one. Some guys cheat, put a live bait on it. Right? I don't, because it actually is against regulations. Right? I can't. I'm federally documented boat, so I get caught and it hurts. I cannot put a live bait on a jig. I can't. Okay. You all can. I cannot. It's just like with mangrove snapper. All right, man, you got some knowledge. What's the limit on mangrove snapper size? Sorry to put you on the spot, man. You just see me answering questions, and it's like, dude knows some stuff, man.
It's on my ruler.
It's 10 inches inshore, pocket out the Gulf.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Nope. 11 inches.
Really?
11 inches. For a federally permitted boat, we gotta get it to 12. Alright, so you know. Okay, here's another thing. We got boaters in here and stuff. Do you guys know of a app called Fish Rules? Okay. Everybody know all that? If you don't know it, it is an app that is absolutely fine. Okay? It even tells you the edibility of the fish when you get it up there. Okay? Incredible. Download it. Before you go on the boat, scroll down, let the little thing spin, and update it. Once it's updated, you can be 100 miles offshore and it'll still work.
What's it called?
Fish Rules. Yep, yep. And it is a free app. There you go. Does not cost you a dime. This gentleman's got it right back here on his phone. Thank you, sir. It will tell you every species. It will tell you the size, the amount of fish you're allowed to have. All right. It'll tell you
How to measure.
Gulf. It'll tell you state and federal. You can switch back and forth.
And how to measure.
How to measure it, the whole shooting match. Some fish are measured from the nose to the tip of the tail, and that means squished. All right, get the longest possible distance. Now, I'm not talking step on his tail, grab by the jaw. You take a fat fish and turn him into a straw, okay? That doesn't count. But we're talking pinch the tail, right? It does make the fish a little bit longer, okay?
These are good app for identifying fish, I'm sure.
Fish rules, yeah. Fish rules.
It's got pictures of the fish and how to identify them.
Right, but we tried to, the weekend, we're passing, it's like, is that a keeper, is that a real, red grouper, and the pictures are terrible.
Yeah, I will give you that. It's not great, okay?
And the ones that you can take a picture, get an ID, don't work once you're out of range.
Yeah.
Correct. 11 miles, man. You're done on the internet. That's it. You finished.
Guns down and down, don't worry.
If that far.
No. And I will tell you, it's outdated. I never use it. I don't know why I carry it around. I should have thrown it out a long time ago. It started a fire in the fireplace when it was cold. I don't know. But I had a Florida State guide's book that had pictures of fish in there, and that was even worse. I mean, they might as well have took the pictures in black and white. I mean, it was horrible. I'm like, okay. Because we ran into catching red snapper. Then we noticed that red snapper don't have yellow eyes or stripes. Crap. We were throwing away fish that we should not have been throwing away. But it happens. It happens to everybody, okay? But a good place to start as far as structure goes. Everybody familiar with a chart plotter, anything like that? Have you ever seen something on a friend's boat, whatever, where you're looking at the chart plotter and you will see these paint squares or paint shapes show up? Okay, those are artificial reefs, all right? Those are targeted areas to hit. You don't have to hit, well, I need to hit this certain spot in this pink area. Go out there and drift it. If you got a machine, you're looking at it, say that machine or whatever, drift over it a couple times. You'll start seeing these little humps, right? That's the structure I'm talking about, okay? That has to be fished. If you can't find that stuff in that water that's just flat and a skinny red line on the bottom, it's all sand. There's nothing, and you might get a flounder out of there. If you do, great, fantastic, I love you for it. But you're not gonna hit the snapper and stuff species that we're looking for, okay? No, it's gonna be, what it's gonna be is a very, very thin red line, okay? Alright, hard bottom, your ledges, rock, limestone, this and that and the other. The harder the bottom gets, the thicker that red line gets. Alright, when we're out, I'm looking for that stuff that's outside the thickness of a two-story building, is what I'm looking for. And then a deviation is what I'm looking for. Doesn't have to have fish on it, nothing. Because a lot of times they're in that deviation of the legs, they're under it. So I'll go to the other side of it, whatever down current is, anchor up, drift the boat across that ledge on the down current side, start dropping bait and pull them out.
Situations where the surface current drift is different from the water.
Oh yeah, that's all the time, and then the wind kicks it going the other way. Oh yeah, yeah, that's where it comes into, you anchor. I don't see anything on the screen, I'm off of it, you gotta anchor again. And again. Oh, you're a trolling motor guy, huh? Well, I just got mine fixed for the 4th time. Alright, so, yeah. But, oh yeah, trolling motor, whatever, okay? It's practice. If you guys aren't familiar with this, the biggest thing I can tell you to do is try a couple of these techniques, and we'll stay a little after and show you these knots and stuff like that. We have no problem with that, okay? Because you've got to get out and try it, and keep doing it, and keep doing it. You don't get frustrated. It's not going to happen the first, I don't know, 5, 6, 10 times. You know, you've got to get out there and work at it, and try it, and enjoy it, okay? Now, we've gone over some stuff fairly quick, because I'm going to open it up for questions. Any questions? It's out 14 miles.
14 miles.
14 miles.
Miami out
Off of Sarasota. Due west of Big Pass. Due west of Big Pass. 12 to 14 miles. It actually covers a 1.5 miles square.
What was this question? I didn't hear this question.
He asked where Fallen Heroes was.
Oh, okay.
It was off of Anna Maria Island. I said, nope. Due west Big Pass. Our Big Pass with the big dog leg out here. Straight out due west. Yeah.
The reefs that you're talking about, are they big enough to where, you know, like, say, an acre square where you're
And bigger.
so if you drift over the reef, how do you get the fish further ahead?
What do you mean, further ahead? If you drift over it, you gotta come back to it. You don't just drift over it and wave goodbye. You're watching your screen, hey, there's a couple good spots. Circle back around, come back, set your anchor, and go back to it. Alright?
So you're gonna anchor,
Ahead of the reef, up current.
let it drift.
You're gonna let your line come back, feed line out until you stop. The best way to do it is you're drifting back. You go back 30 feet, 40 feet, you're, well, actually about 60 feet because you're at 28 feet of water. And say, I'm using Fisher as an example. 28 feet of water, 27, 28, 31 on high tide. You're drifting across that, you're gonna wanna put out 30, 40 feet of line, okay? Let the boat take off. All right, you're gonna feel it, boom, all right? I'm not quite there yet. All right, let out some more line, let the boat drift back to it. Okay, there's the pile I need. Let me go past the 10 feet. Let out 10 more feet of line, tie it off. Then you go ahead and get your bottom rig, you get your high-low or chicken rig out. Try a couple drops with different weights, okay? Make sure that line is not gonna go with the current, be sticking straight out behind your boat. It's not effective, you're bottom fishing. It needs to be on the bottom, right? Okay, I'm using a 1 ounce. It starts to go out. Let me put a 2 ounce on. You're doing this without any bait on it, just the hooks. Alright, don't be like him where he pulls up a freaking snapper on a blank hook. Okay, it's kind of funny, but you know, Put the 2 ounce on. Okay, now your weight's stopping here. Let's go to 3, see what happens. Straight down to the bottom. That's what we need. If you have, say, you know, you're out on your boat, you're out on whatever boat, and you've got 3 of your friends with you, it's 4 people. One person has 1 ounce, the other one 2, the other one 3, the other one 4. You drop it 4 lines to see who's gonna stay on the bottom the best. I got a 4 and I'm straight down. Everybody, the 3 of them reel up. Put baits and a 4 ounce on her, everybody's fishing.
You leave them on the bottom or pull them up?
No, leave it on the bottom. On the bottom. You wanna leave it on the bottom with very little slack. Okay? The only one you wanna have a little bit of line to is the fish finder rig. One with the egg sinker on it. That one you wanna have some slack to, right? The chicken rig, which is our go-to every single time. Alright, this rig right there, that much slack in the line, you do not want any more. We do this anywhere from 27 feet to 200 feet. We're doing the same exact technique, same thing. The only difference is the fish are bigger, and I yell at people and say, you know, I got 20 more minutes to reel and keep going. You know, I mean, that's it. The only difference. So it works all the time. These rigs also work great bait fishing, up against the bridge structures, up near docks, things like that. Snapper or bottom fish. You know, people try and cast out, surface plug to catch mangrove. You know, maybe. I've never heard of it, but of course I'm not an inshore fisherman. I'm out in the Gulf of Mexico. That's what I'm covering. Go ahead.
You mentioned a couple of reefs, the Silver
Tooth.
Reef was one of the closer ones. What are some other close?
Yours.
Yours?
Tom Roar. Right. You've got Allen Fisher Reef. And like I said, here's what you do. Like I said, there's a website, SarasotaCounty.gov.org. Okay. You list under there, it says public reefs for Sarasota County. All right. You're going to see the name of the reef. It's going to have the Latin line on it, and it's going to tell you the direction it is from a certain point. It'll give the point, which direction, and it bearing 060 degrees, 090 degrees, whatever.